Hi guys, I'm Lisa and I'm back with another video. Today is time for Monday Reads. Monday Reads are where I talk about my reading over the past week, what I finished, what I'm currently reading, and what my plans are for the next coming week. So basically very much the same as a Friday Reads, but just on a Monday. Last week I set myself the goal to read 1,554 pages with an average of 222 pages per day. I ended up reading 1,228 pages with an average of 175 pages per day. I was not very far off, but I only finished 3 of the 4 books that I set myself down to finish. And I started a book I wasn't planning on starting either. But let's start by getting over the books that I did finish last week and talk a little bit about them, and then I'll get into what I'm currently reading and what my plans are for the next week. The first thing that I finished last week was Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I've forgotten what the series is called. It was nominated in the BookTube SF Awards under the YA category. I never got around to read it because it didn't come out at the library so I could read it before, but I did read it now and it was okay. I've read one book by Holly Black before that I really didn't enjoy, so I wasn't sure if I would like this one, but I actually ended up enjoying it quite a bit, so I was happy about that. It was a sort of middle of the road book for me. It had some YA tropes that I'm a little bit tired of, but otherwise I enjoyed it and gave it 3.5 stars. The next thing that I finished was Interesting Times by Terry Pratchett. This is the next book I had to read in the Discworld series. It is the 17th or 16th. I think it's the 17th in the Discworld. It's the next book in the Rincewind, which I believe is the 5th. There's Call of Magic, Light Fantastic, Sorcery, Eric, and this one. So the 5th book in the Rincewind series. And it's been a while since I've read a Rincewind book, and I've mentioned it before, but he's not my favorite of the characters, but I did enjoy this one quite a bit. It was fun, and it was basically set in a Discworld version of China, because it was sort of separated by a big giant wall, and the people in this country, part of the realm, part of the Discworld, was told that everything that was outside of the wall were demons and ghosts and evil spirits and stuff. So no one really had the courage to try and go past the wall. But Two Flower, who is the character we meet in one of the other Rincewind novels, actually decides to try and escaping this kingdom and seeing the outside world. And when he comes back, he writes sort of book about his adventures on the outside and is basically thrown to jail for it because people don't want them to know that there's something going on outside. It was interesting, it was fun, it had its moments, but as I said before, Rincewind definitely not my favorite character, but it was one of the better ones in my opinion, and I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars. Also because Two Flower is actually a really fun character. The last and final thing that I finished last week was Fullmetal Alchemist Volume 11 by Hiromu Arakawa, and I love this volume so much. It is this specific volume definitely took a turn. You got to know something about, they tried to resurrect their mother at some point, which backfired on them, and they were sort of there was some more new info about this thing that definitely took this series in another direction that I'm really interested in. So I'm really looking forward to reading the 12th volume. Hopefully I'll get to it sometime this month, but we'll see, because like my news is like bonkers insane, so I don't know if I will have time to read something else, and I'm not sure I can actually make it fit anywhere, so yeah. Anyway, love this one, gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Yeah, highly recommend this series. It's really, really so enjoyable. So those are the things that I've finished. Considering I'm planning on continuing or finishing all of my currently reading books, I'm going to talk about my stats for next week, my plans and my overall plans, and then what my plans are with what books it entails. So I've set myself a goal of reading 1,435 pages next week with an average of 205 pages per day, or this week, it's called this week. And I've decided to finish 5 things next week, and 4 of them goes for the news, and 4 of them are currently reading books. So yeah, let's get into the books that I have started and not finished, and then afterwards I'll tell you what my overall goals per day is going to be like over the next week. First things first, I have made some progress in Shape Changers. It's the only one I didn't finish of my books from last week. Sadly, I would have wanted to have finished it, but I am on page 178 out of 276, so I have 98 pages left of this book, and it's definitely becoming a lot more interesting. For some reason it's not as easy to read as I predicted it would be, but I guess it's because of it being a little bit older, so the writing is a little bit different than what I'm used to now, but I am enjoying it at this point. It took some time for me to get to where I'm enjoying it because I have issues with some of the characters, but things are sort of amending themselves for me a little bit. I'm still very, very intrigued about the world, about what is going on, so I'm looking forward to seeing how I'm gonna end up reading this, because at this point I'm not really sure. Another book that I started yesterday when I was actually doing a sprint session with Rhea from the Bookfinch was The Faded Sky by Mary Robinette Kowal. I made it to page 62, so I have quite a chunk of it left, and my plan is to try and finish it over this week. And yeah. Another book that I'm also working on and I started last week was A Fool's Quest by Robin Hobb. This is the first book I decided to pick up from my TBR, and it is without a doubt the largest book on my TBR. It's 33 hours in total time, and I managed to get through 3.5 hours in my speed, which means it's 7 hours in the normal speed. So I have about 26 hours left in total. But I must have about 13.5 hours left in total now. Oh well, today I did listen to something today, but I really didn't listen very much at work. I think I maybe have gotten through 20 minutes because I didn't have any driving today, more or less. I had to work in our bigger office, which is in my city, and I usually work at the smaller office that is like 15 minutes, 20 minutes away, so yeah. I'm going to attempt to finishing it this week, so I have a lot of listening time I need to get through this week, and so hopefully I can do it. The last and final thing that I started on last week and want to finish is Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. I started this on Saturday, and I really love it so far. It's so much fun, and I am really looking forward to getting back to it. It is definitely something that's fun to listen to, and I made it through, I think 25% of it, maybe a third of the way. I'm not sure. I have the final thing that I've put on my to-read list this week is going to be my easy thing that I can add, and that is Giant Days Volume 1. It's like one of the only graphic things I have on my list, and yeah, so I wanted to get this in because I'm having so chunky books on my TBR this week that I would like to somehow make things easier for me so I can feel like I accomplished something. So that is one I have on my list. In total, I've sort of calculated my time. I have to read 60 pages of physical books, or yeah. Of my 2 physical books, and then an additional 16 pages of the graphic novel per day in order to finish the 3 things. So it's not very much, and I set myself that it'll probably take me approximately an hour and a half every day for me to read that. And weekends I tend to have a little more time to read, and weekdays I have a little less, but if I can sort of be on schedule with that, then I have extra time to listen to audios, which is also important. Because my audio time is definitely going to be a lot. I have to listen to 2 hours and 40 minutes, I think, of Fool's Quest per day, and today I listened to 20 minutes, so I have a lot to listen to. I have to listen to today still in order to catch up but maybe one of the next days I can actually get more in, but I'm not sure about that. But it's because I only have 5 days of the week where I'm at work, and then I have 40 minutes for Good Omens over the next coming days. So every day I need to listen to 40 minutes of Good Omens, but I could actually put a lot more of that into the weekend and then listen to more of Fool's Quest in the work days. Or maybe if I have some leftover time of Fool's Quest, I will focus on that on the weekend. We'll see. Just as long as I listen to about 3 hours a day this week, then I will be able to finish them. Let's hope that it's possible. So those are my plans for this next week, and it sounds a little bit daunting to me at the moment, but hopefully I will be able to do it with no problems. So let me know in the comments down below if you've read anything exciting over the past week. What do you plan on reading over the next week, and have you read any of the books that I've been talking about today, and what were your thoughts on them? Are you agreeing with my thoughts as well? And have you gotten a good start to the news? Because I feel like I've not, because I've been a little bit behind when I got into the news, but with things I had to catch up on before I could start it. So yeah, we'll see how it ends up going, but yeah, I'm a little uncertain about things, how it's gonna go, as I have no plan B currently, but I might have to readjust stuff when I get further into the month. But I also know that this month, like August, is going to be our busiest month of the year at my work. I don't know how much it's gonna affect me, but I feel like it might possibly be quite a bit, because I have to get introduced to a lot of customers this month, and it is because we have all of our customers has either mid-year taxes or quarterly taxes they have to get through. Tax payments has to go in by the 1st of September for both quarterly and mid-year taxes for all of our customers. So there's a lot of things that you have to get through in August, also because July is used for summer vacation, so we are already a bit behind from what we'll usually do. But then September is going to be a lot less, so I can take probably some time off then, and that's something I'm pondering about. But yeah, anyway, this is all I have for you today. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video very, very soon. Goodbye.